Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Senior Cat Wellness. Today it's all about your cat's behavior and understanding your pet's baseline and why they do what they do and how to understand it and do so in fairly short order. If you've ever found yourself just staring at your cat totally confused by what they're doing and what they could be thinking, well, you come to the right place today. We're diving into the topic of how to understand your cat's behavior fast because once you learn your pet's behavior, their body language, and overall signals, everything about this ownership adventure and living with your feline or them living with you, it does get easier, more relaxed, more calm, and certainly more fun. Cats, they're mysterious, right? That's what we're told. That's the myth. And one minute they're curled up and purring, and the next minute they're scratching your furniture. You can't figure out how we got from point A to point B so fast because you're thinking, hey, there's got to be something in the middle, and what am I missing? But here's the truth. Cats are always sending signals, always communicating and communicating right there with you while you're watching TV. They're talking to you in some way. Not words, of course, but body language and sounds and just habits. These habits all trying to tell you something, so you need to know what to look for. We'll start with the obvious. I would consider it one of the most obvious things, and I mentioned it on the channel before. The tail. What's your cat's tail? What's the tail up to? Because the rest of the body might not be doing anything at all, but that tail is doing something. Your cat's tail, it's a mood in itself. When it's straight up with a slight curve at the top, that typically means your cat is very happy and very relaxed and ready to entertain and interact with you. The upright tail with the little curl is saying, hey, how's it going? Having a good day? I'm having a good day. What about you? But that one's the easy part, really. But if the cat's tail is sort of puffed out, like they just got out of the shower and took the hairdryer to it, that's some level of fear. Now, it doesn't mean it's 10 out of 10 level, but something's going on. Your cat is feeling anxious and maybe even aggressive, or your cat could feel threatened. A low and tucked tail, the tail is sort of far lower than the body itself. The cat is standing and the tail is almost dragging the ground. And let's say the cat is the tail is depressed and it's sort of flicking back and forth quickly. The cat is irritated. So that's the cat's way of telling you or anybody, hey, I need some space. Back up a few feet. That'd be fine. That'd be good. Next up, watch those ears, big or small, no matter what, no matter what they look like in that regard. Watch the ears. Forward-facing ears, curious cat. Engaged cat, willing to pay attention, wanting to pay attention, in the act of paying attention. If they're sort of moving around a bit, that means your cat's on alert, listening to all the sounds around them. But if those ears are flat and pinned back and sort of look like airplane wings, the cat's about to take off. Red flag alert. They're angry, defensive. They're maybe fearful. Something's going on, and they're picking it up, and it's not sitting well with them. So you can tell a lot. Just with the ears and the tail. We've knocked out about 100 different possibilities just with these two things. Next up, your cat's eyes is sometimes forgotten, overlooked. The slow blink. I mentioned it a few times on the channel. Your cat's blinking at you. That's almost like an I love you signal. Cats don't go around just blinking at random people. You might look at a cat for a whole day and never see them blink. But if they're really into you, if they've got a good bond with you, they will let that guard down to blink. It's sort of a version of a hug or a smile. It indicates they trust and feel relaxed around you. So blink right back at them. See what happens. They might blink right back at you. But there's always a but, right? Dilated pupils. Excitement, fear, something scary, anxious, high alert. If the cats are, the pupils are dilated during a play session, that's an obvious. But if they're just big sort of for no reason, your cat's sort of just resting, but their eyes are really big, something is grabbed their attention and potentially something negative. So watch those eyes. Vocalizations, right? We all know about the meowing and the purring and all of that, but the classic meow, it's usually directed at humans, not other cats. They've learned that's how they get our attention. If they meow enough, we'll at least listen and do something. Clean out the litter box. Give me some food. I need some fresh water. I want a cuddle session. I want to play. Short meows, that's a greeting. Hello. But the longer ones, not aggressive, but the longer ones, that's usually for I need something from you, like food, like attention, like that litter box cleaned out. But I think we all know this: cat owners are not a growl or a hiss. It's not good. It means back up, back off. Little chirps and things, that's friendly, but when we got the growling and the hissing going on, that's bad. Body posture, taking care of the ears and the tail, but the body, the core of the body. Relaxed cat, sort of loosey goosey. I've got a cat, and forever I called him boneless because when I would pick him up, he would just sort of just flop. Stretched out posture, muscles totally relaxed, almost like jello. There's nothing rigid, no rigidity, nothing. They're chill, they're cool. Cats in this state might even expose their belly, so it's all good when we're talking about this. It's all about trust and loyalty. And if you've got a cat that's like that when you physically touch him or hold him, it's the ultimate relaxed state. Ultimate relaxed state. Happy cat. So, rigidity. Anything, the cat's muscles, you can feel them tighten up. If your cat is crouched, if you're watching them, not holding it, they're crouched down and everything's tucked in and it just looks like your cat is on edge, that typically means they are. There's something that's caused them to be nervous. Something in the environment is provoking this nervousness. Understanding play is also key. When to play and when not to play. They're down stalking and they're pouncing on things and chasing things. That's an instinctual desire that cats have. So your cat suddenly just breaks out into, almost like breaking out into song, but in the play variety. If you're coming around a corner and they jump out and grab your ankle or something, hey, they're not being mean. It's just who they are and what they are. It's a play behavior. So knowing that can help you, because it may seem like, hey, leave me alone, you're annoying me. And it could be annoying, but they mean you no harm in this regard, because this is what is considered play behavior. It's what they are. Another clue, routine. Cats love consistency, daily consistency. They're creatures of habit, and sudden changes that can turn their environment upside down. And if I had a nickel for every time I've said that on this channel, well, you know the drill. You know what that would entail. But if your cat is hiding and they stop eating and they stop all of the things that they've come to enjoy from their routine, it could be they're very, very stressed. It could also be that they're unwell. To some degree, something is happening externally, but possibly, unfortunately, internally, that is throwing them off their game, let's say. So every cat, it's not, doesn't mean everything's bad from the jump when you first see it, but if this carries on, let's say more than 24 hours, cat is resting in places in the house they would never even go to otherwise. Like I said, they're not eating. Things they enjoy, they want nothing to do with. They've stopped grooming. If that hasn't sort of cleared up, let's say, something's going on here, so you need to act accordingly with respect to a possible vet visit in that regard. So the routine is key, because it helps you as an owner and it helps your cat get through the day, but also understanding your cat's baseline. The routine will provide you with your cat's personal baseline and what's considered just a typical day. Well, you'll know when things start to go south a bit, when that typical becomes atypical. So establishing the routine can allow you to know, hey, it's sort of an early sign that something could be wrong when they deviate from the routine. Now let's talk about purring. Okay, we all know what that's all about. Most of the time, I'd say 99% of the time, purring, good thing. It means a cat is happy and content. But sometimes, and I mentioned health and anxiety and different things, sometimes cats do purr to self-soothe when they're stressed and sick and anxious. So the context of it matters. Do they start the purr machine when you're petting them? Or are they off in a corner, sort of hunched down, alone, purring, and nothing sort of happy is provoking the purr? When this happens, it could be a negative purr, a sign that something's just not right. Learning to understand what your cat is saying it's not always about trying to decode every signal, but it's about building that bond where you understand that baseline. Because when you respond to their cues correctly, you've earned their trust. And that trust turns into affection, a more confident placement in your ownership journey. and it increases your cat's confidence around you, knowing, hey, I can purr, I can assume any kind of body posture, and they'll get me. They'll understand what I'm trying to convey. Over time, this builds and builds and builds, and that's where this unbreakable bond. So that's how that's formed. So if you want to speed things up, I talked about how doing this fast. It's all about interaction with your cat, play sessions, talking sessions, getting a read on your cat, and over time, the cues. They're going to be sort of spitting out these cues all the time. And the more you see of it, the more you'll know, hey, this means this means this means this. So in fairly short order, in the big picture, you should be able to understand a host of these cues and sort of commit them to memory. So when you hear something or see something, you're like, hey, I know what time it is. I know what that's about. I know what my cat's doing, and I know what they want from me. So you'll be able to tell when your cat wants affection, when they want that litter box cleaned out, when they want their space, and also when there's a chance they're not feeling too well. You'll be able to pick up on that too. So understanding your cat's overall behavior, it makes this this whole thing, this ownership journey, just smoother overall for both you and for your cat. So if you've ever felt like your cat's behavior is just random, like what are they doing, and it's confusing, just remember this. It's not random. Cats rarely just do things to do things. It's some form of communication, and it's likely directed right at you. So learning their language, you can unlock a whole new level of ownership and overall appreciation for your pet if you understand their body language and communication as a whole. So to the wonderful audience of Senior Cat Wellness, what are your thoughts? Anything you'd like to add? And tell me about your ownership journey and your ownership adventure. Tell me how it's improved since you've understood your cat's behavior and what all of this stuff really means. The comment section, as always, it's all yours. And if you enjoyed this content, found it informative, please give the video a like, share it out, and subscribe to us right here at Senior Cat Wellness. Until next time, we will talk to you later.